Welcome to Your Beauty Fuel, where everyday food items will be transformed into restaurant quality foods that will tantalize your taste buds, but not add inches to your waistline. I'm your host, Rita Catolino. Growing up in an Italian household, food was the focus of every single day and an abundance of it. Let me tell you that. And that paired with a lack of physical activity made for one chubby Rita. It wasn't until I had my daughter 8 years ago that I decided to make a big change in my lifestyle. Enter fitness. Fitness gave me the motivation, the dedication, and the energy that was missing in my lifestyle. But I was not willing to give up yummy and tasty, healthy food and head over to the boiled asparagus and chicken side of life. That is how I came up with Beauty Fuel. Food that will fuel your body from the inside out and taste amazing for you and your family. But don't leave just yet. We're going to be back just after this break with the basics. Welcome back to Your Beauty Fuel. As the popular saying goes, plan to succeed or succeed to fail. The same goes when you are trying to get through a week of healthy eating, but healthy eating that tastes great. My trick is to pick 2 days of the week and plan out your fridge and your pantry so you're prepped to go on a busy Tuesday night when you gotta rush the kids off to soccer or to swimming practice. Let's start with my fridge. I call this Fridge Fundamentals. I like to think about proteins as the base of my week. So I like to pick 3 or 4 different ones every week and prep them so they're easy to grab or easy to assemble during the week. Things like hard-boiled eggs. I hard-boiled them. I write hard-boiled eggs so I don't get them mixed up with the ones that are not hard-boiled, as well as the date. This is a great, easy to grab snack. You have a fat and a protein all in one little bundle. They're great in a Ziploc bag along with some carrots and some peppers. Another great thing I do is I make meatloafs. You can make them in mini meatloaf pans. I just make different ones, different flavors. This one's made with wild turkey meat. You can use bison meat. You can use any meat that your family enjoys. Other things that we'll be making in a different episode are Rita's grain-free oh so yummy pancakes. And these are made with eggs, another protein source, a lean protein source. And these are great during the week to use. I use it for my daughter's lunch. We put banana in them and we roll them up. They're used as your typical wrap, as you would say. Things that get me through a busy week when I'm crunched for time are things like mini smoked salmon packages, which we'll be using later today, little individual packs of tuna or salmon and other kinds of fish are always great to have on hand. Things like chicken breasts. So there I have all of my protein on one shelf. On another shelf, I have all of my vegetables. Who has great intentions when they go to the grocery store, fills their bags full of greens and vegetables, only to find 3 days later that they're rotting at the bottom of their vegetable drawer? I know I used to do that. Now when I get home from the grocery store, I cut, wash, prep everything so it's easy to grab during the week. Washing and pre-cutting your lettuce and putting it right in your salad spinner and keeping it in the fridge that way will keep it fresh and ready to go. No need to worry about cutting and washing during the week. Other things like cooked carrots. This is such a great trick. These can be easily warmed up during the week. They have great They taste great, they taste sweet, but they also have great nutritional value. Another few things that I love to do is butternut squash, acorn squash. You cook it up in the oven, you take it out and you mash it and you have it ready to go. How many times do you see those pumpkins and squash sitting on your counter until they rot and you don't even know what to do with them? This makes for a great weekday meal, and we're going to see that a little bit later. Another one of my special treats, since I don't really eat white potatoes too much anymore, is mashed cauliflower. So this has a very low carb content, and it also gives you that creamy flavor when building your plates during the week. Other no-brainers are cutting and washing all of your vegetables so they're ready to go. Once again, big bags of carrots and stalks of dirty celery are not really appetizing and they don't call your name. So having them ready to go will make your life a lot easier during the week. Great. Let's move on to our pantry, where there'll be some other great items here that's going to help you get through your beauty fuel week a lot easier. When I get home, I like to put a lot of things in mason jars. Mason jars are easy to see. You can see what you have right away. It's great for classifying, and I even like to take the sticker of whatever it is that I bought and put it on here so I know what it is, because sometimes things like coconut flour and almond flour can look very similar. Sometimes I write the date on there too, so I know that things are not going bad. I like to, we are a flour-free, sugar-free house, so we don't use white flour. Great substitutes are coconut flour, almond meal, brown rice flour, sweet potato flour. We also use a lot of coconut. Coconut does a really good job, unsweetened coconut. So don't be fooled by those bags of sweetened coconut that you buy at the grocery store. I like to find the unsweetened coconut. Even the big coconut chips, these are great for adding flavor to a lot of dishes. Lots of seeds we use in our house. So chia seeds, which we're going to be using later on to make a really great chia seed pudding. Pumpkin seeds, these are all healthy fats. So when you are looking on a new weight loss journey, fat is very important. Fat doesn't make you fat. Fat actually helps you lose fat. It also helps with healthy skin, healthy hair, healthy nails, and cognitive function to get through your day. Other great things I have here are pure cocoa nibs. They're really great when you have a chocolate craving. They do the trick. Nuts, seeds, powders, spices, on and on. So don't forget to pack your pantry full of things that are going to be easy to assemble your food during the week. Stay tuned, because you're probably thinking, what the heck am I going to do with all of those things Rita just showed me? Make sure you come back and I'll show you how to prep some really great gourmet foods. Welcome back to Your Beauty Fuel Kitchen. Today, before we go into the crazy Monday night, bringing your kids around and getting together a really tasty meal within 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to show you another couple of tricks that help me get through my week a lot easier. When making things like meatloaves and mini meatloaf muffins, what I do is, with my juicer, I already have prepared on a Sunday 5 bags filled with all the ingredients I need, washed and cut for my juice. Things like celery, apples, lemons, romaine, kale, carrots. So this is a one-stop juicing bag. You throw it in your juicer over here. Not only do you get an amazing juice that's going to make you glow from the inside out, but we're always left over with the crazy insides that usually either stay for a week and stink up our kitchen or get thrown in the garbage. But what we're missing here is an incredible amount of fiber and a lot of nutrients from the vegetables. So guess what I do with this? I throw this into my meat for my meatloaf. Ta-da! So no waste, you get all the fiber, but you still get all the benefits of juicing. So that's one of my tips for you. Another one of my tips when we talked about getting your protein ready in your fridge is something may seem silly for you, but I love poached eggs. On top of anything, poach an egg and it makes it that much more delectable. So during the week, what I like to do is on a Sunday, on my meal prep day, I'll take a little teacup, I'll throw in a piece of cellophane, you spray it with some olive oil, crack your egg inside, salt and pepper, and then you're gonna create a knot and you end up with these little egg bombs. These stay for a few days in a Tupperware container. Then all you have to do is boil some water, throw them in, and then you have the perfectly poached egg, which I'll be showing you today on top of one of our salads. We already looked at some of the vegetables that we got ready. We got our butternut squash. We have our roasted cauliflower with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper in there. That too looks unappealing to me. We'll start with our butternut squash today. That will go really well with the meatloaf. And you're just gonna push these in side, almost like you were stuffing something. Just like that. And you're gonna put it in the oven, ring and all. Voila! Remember, with cooking, whether it's healthy or not, what are the tricks in restaurants? It's eating with your eyes, and it's thinking about all of the textures that go ahead with eating. So creaminess, we get that from the creamy butternut squash or the creamy cauliflower. More of a meaty, earthy texture. We're gonna get that out of our beautiful meatloaf. Then we want to think about maybe something sweet in there. Another thing I do on my weekly meal prep is I just take an onion, a couple of onions, I cut them up and I let them braise really slowly on the stove, and then they last in the fridge 4 or 5 days, and you have some beautiful sweet onions that are going to add a whole different texture and dimension to your plate. Remember, we eat with our eyes, so nice clean palette here. Let's start assembling our meal. I'm gonna go with the orange today. So we're gonna use the butternut squash that we did. And look how beautiful that looks. It took us 5 minutes. You saw how quickly that took. It was only in the oven about 15 minutes in real time. So this gets transformed into that. And it gives us a beautiful bed for our meatloaf now that we made. So we're gonna fan this out beautifully along here. You know, I'm not an architect. This is going to get devoured in a few seconds, but all of a sudden we are transforming our mundane meals into something more beauty fueled. Let's add some greenery on here. Why not? I love sprouted greens, things like pea shoots. These are sunflower sprouts. They add a beautiful color on there, a little bit of texture. Remember those onions, so they're going to add a little bit of sweetness. So we can just even add them on the side, drizzled on the side here. Something else that I love, I'm not a saucy person. The problem with sauces when you're looking at your waistline and being energetic is a lot of them have a lot of fillers, things like MSG, creams, things that are gonna make you feel bloated and lethargic. We want this food to make us feel energized and beautiful, right? So one of my favorite things are balsamic vinegars. These are pure balsamic vinegars. These ones are actually from here, from the Olive and Me company. And these are pretty much vine to bottle. There's no in-betweens, there's no sulfates, there's no caramels, there's no colors. So this is a great addition to adding another flavor profile. So we're gonna use this one here, a fig one that is gonna really bring out a little bit more of the sweetness. So we can just dress up our plate like this. It not only adds more flavor, but it's giving more of a dimension to your plate. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's go on to another recipe here. Okay, we're gonna start with our lettuce. Remember, it's already cleaned and washed and ready to go because I did that on Sunday on my meal prep. So I'm already halfway through the game. Okay, so we're gonna start with dressing our lettuce a little bit. We're gonna use this beautiful balsamic, some salt and pepper, and we're just gonna put it in the bottom of our ring. I'm gonna go ahead and dress it. I'm gonna use the same flavor here. It'll go really well. And let's just pretend that Rita was not prepared. Rita did not cook her chicken and her hard-boiled eggs or her meatloaf, so what is she to do? Well, Rita is going to use smoked salmon, okay? Smoked salmon, things like tuna, things that you can have on hand that are not gonna go bad in your house. So we're gonna use smoked salmon for this recipe. What goes really well with smoked salmon? Avocado. So when you think about flavor profiles, this is more of an Asian theme, thinking ginger, we're gonna think avocado, we're gonna think smoked salmon, cucumber, things like that. Gonna make a really quick dressing for you because everybody likes a creamy texture with their salads. I like to add that creaminess, but we're not gonna use mayonnaise. We're going to use avocado. Nature's mayonnaise, as you would say. It's a creamy, beautiful texture, and it can be whipped up quickly in a food processor or in a magic bullet to make this perfectly creamy texture to add to our food. We're just gonna simply add this to our food processor. Avocados are great, by the way, and when you're trying to pick one at the grocery store, you wanna squeeze it ever so slightly, just like this, and it should give back to the touch. If you're only using half, use the half without the pit. The pit is gonna keep it from going brown. Whoops, so we're gonna put the whole avocado in our food processor. And we are going to add a little bit of flavor to it. I love flavored mustard. Mustards are a great way to add flavor and creaminess as well without adding fats to your diet, bad fats, because we talked about how good fats are. And this one happens to be by the Savvy Chef. I love this one. It's a truffle mustard. So if you're a truffle fan like I am, this is gonna add a beautiful flavor and dimension to our smoked salmon. So we're gonna add that in as well. And we need a little bit of liquid. One of my favorite things to use is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar really helps with digestion. It helps with adding that really pungent flavor, but it's a very pure vinegar. We're gonna add a little bit of that, a couple tablespoons. All of these recipes are gonna be up on yourbeautyfuel.com, so don't forget to look there. And we're gonna blitz it. Let's add a little bit of citrus in there, a little bit of lemon. I like to roll out my lemons and limes before you cut into them, and that's just gonna create more juice. Release. Okay, we're not creating anything here. Let's add the lemon right in. And let's blitz up this avocado mayo. I make this, once every couple of days, and then I store it in a mason jar in the fridge. So let's go quickly, and here we go. It literally takes 2 minutes. There we go. Okay, you have a beautiful dressing that is gonna be great for dipping crudités or for dressing your salads. I love to have this on hand always. So, we are gonna go ahead. I never said I was clean in the kitchen. We're gonna go ahead, and if you could just see this beautiful creamy texture here, it smells divine, a little hint of truffle in there. This is gonna go really well with the salmon. So we're just gonna put this on top of the lettuce, which will help compact it down. From there, we're gonna go ahead and put on our smoked salmon. I love this one. This is a wild smoked salmon. Sometimes it's better to buy stuff like this than the actual salmon at the grocery store, the fresh stuff, because that's farmed. So always try to look for a wild source. So you're just gonna fill, this is like making a puzzle. Remember, we're assembly line chefs during the week. We are not cooks because we already prepped our food. Okay, beautiful. So if you can see that, we're already halfway done. Okay, a few more things to add. Cucumber always reminds me of Asian food. I love cucumber. It gives that nice crunchy, cool texture. So we have the warm, creamy, the smokiness of the salmon, and now we're gonna add on some cool cucumber. These guys are so easy to do. Whip up your salad. You're just using your regular old potato peeler to get them like that. These are already seasoned. Remember, you're seasoning each layer. That's what chefs do. They season each layer of their food. They don't just season the top because then the rest is bland. So these already have their salt on them. I love Himalayan pink sea salt for its nutritional value. Okay, from there, let's add another couple of things and then we're ready to eat this salad. Pickled ginger. I like to have pickled ginger on hand. Real ginger is just as good. The ginger root, I like the pickled flavor and it goes really well with all of these Asian flavors. And these are already in these thin sheets, almost like the smoked salmon. So that's gonna be our next layer. Another more pungent flavor. So we have the smokiness, the coolness of the cucumber, the pungentness of the ginger, the crunchiness of the cucumber and the ginger. So we're just gonna end with, remember that poached egg we did at the beginning? Well, I've already thrown one in the boiling water, so it should be ready to go. Because who doesn't love a creamy egg on top of anything? If you don't like anything that I'm doing here, you just leave it out. You don't like ginger, you don't put the ginger. You don't like an egg, you don't put an egg. You like peppers, add some peppers. Okay, once again, we're gonna add our microgreens on top. They look really pretty. I've also done seaweed on here, cut up layers of seaweed. It adds a really nice texture as well, that saltiness of the seaweed. Okay, let's add a little bit of caviar. Let me open, here's my trick to opening my cans, if that works. I didn't work out today, so my biceps are a bit weak, but I love this too. This adds that salty flavor as well, gives a little bit of a bubble in your mouth. Okay, so we're gonna add this on top, this fish roe. I mean, it already looks beautiful. Wait till we uncover this. What I usually like to do is keep this in the fridge for a bit because it will congeal a lot better. And unfortunately for TV, we're gonna just do as is. Let me take out the last piece of the puzzle, which was that egg that we put in. Remember those little eggs that I showed you? So that just went into boiling water for 7 minutes. And all we're gonna do is cut the top off and put it on top. I always keep, my daughter probably stole them, here they are. I always keep one pair of scissors for the kitchen, okay? Things like cutting up pieces of meat, cutting up herbs. It's good to have one pair that you only use for that, okay? So we're gonna cut off the top here, and lo and behold, a perfect, or so I say, perfect poached egg, okay? Last part of the puzzle will be a little bit of these fresh sprouts. And we're ready to unveil our beautiful stacked restaurant style salad. Keep your fingers crossed. This is TV. Dun 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 dun. So stay tuned. We'll be right back to cap this all off. I hope you enjoyed some of the tips that I've shared with you today. They're tips that have helped me during the last 8 years of my life to enjoy food, but still attain those fitness goals. And I mean, it's time to eat.